Hello. Hey guys, welcome back. Just got off work. Decided today was going to be pizza day. So yeah, let's just right on and dig in. This is just a regular hot and ready pepperoni pizza. Things to talk about today. Interesting stories, interesting things that has happened to me. See, one interesting thing is I spent most of my middle school and high school in the dental and orthodontic offices. When I was in 5th grade, this was, not too long ago, but long enough that we had wooden play structures and metal slides and what have yous. And what happened was somebody was at the top of this slide and I was standing at the bottom, and somebody had called my name. And the first thing I do is, if anybody else would do is, turn around. And when I did, they threw somebody else down the slide. And as I'm turning around, somebody's coming down and they hit my feet and I smack right into this slide. I hit my face like really, really hard. And then so I was coming back down the slide and I put my hands back and I felt something brush my hand. And I don't know what it was. I was like, man, I think that's my tooth. And sure enough, I lost my tooth. Oh man, I never laughed and cried so hard, but it was pretty funny. So yeah. Went ahead and got some breadsticks and marinara sauce with buttery garlic sauce too. Oops. Uh-oh. That was horrible. Dear goodness. There's something about some good sauces. So yeah. But then they gave me this the flipper, which is what this little retainer is. It's called a flipper. And yeah, I spent most of my time with I think I spent like two years with a flipper until I turned 15, and then I went ahead and got an implant, and I had that for a couple years. And then what happened with the implant was I had an abscess. Some really good pizza. Yeah, so I had an abscess, and so they had to do a what's called a bone graft. And basically they take all the infected stuff out and then chip away at the bone just a little bit more so they can make sure everything is out, so there's no like little pit of something that would re-abscess. And then they put a bone graft in. Then I have a stud in there, and I haven't gone back to get it because they said I wasn't old enough and my teeth hadn't dropped or whatever. I don't know. So I just haven't been back to get it worked on or anything like that. Another interesting thing that has happened to me, well, not to me personally, but I mentioned in the previous video, did I mention that my dog got struck by lightning? I did. So, two funny things that, obviously, since I don't have a front tooth, there was one year where I was gonna dip it in like gold paint, so I have a we're not gonna have that in the story. That's stupid. Oh, just like little, or another thing that is like interesting or funny is like, since I don't have my tooth, it's always fun to like freak people out, and I'll show you in just a second. Most people don't expect somebody who doesn't have a tooth and that can remove it, and so sometimes I play with it and then put it back in. Everybody just thinks I have like gum, so they pay no attention to it. But then occasion when I'll like walk around the corner and you just see me go, and so that usually freaks a lot of people out. And dude, what the heck, man? What was that? I was like, what was what? You think you did with your tooth? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, yeah, man, don't play with me. And so then I always just tell him, I was like, oh, it's just a fake tooth, man. He's like, how did you do it, man? I'm like, well, magic. And it's always funny to see people's reactions, because I've had a lot of reactions that were just like, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I like it. And then I've had some people just like flip out like, so you know, it just depends on who you do it to, because somebody could be like traumatized for life. You know, you have a little kid come up and like tap you on the mouth and you go, oh, my tooth. And then the little kid just like breaks down crying, and it's hilarious. I laugh on the inside, not the outside. We don't want to make fun of people, but we make fun of people a lot. Breadsticks. Something about good pizza. Good pizza and good breadsticks. Spot on. Every once in a while I'll get a pizza from Little Caesars, and for me it's usually been like a hit or miss. Sometimes the pizza's like melt in your mouth. Oh my gosh. Really good. And then sometimes it's like cardboard that was burnt. Never really had a mediocre. It's either really good or really bad. But anyway, but since I have this fake tooth, like I can't eat or like chew gum with it in, because then it just pulls it down, which is kind of annoying. And I really haven't been back to go get, because I had broke my flipper. Well, the first time I broke my flipper, it went like through my lip into somebody's elbow. I was in gym class and we were playing basketball and I got elbowed in the mouth. And he started like wigging out, man, because he had a tooth in his elbow, and he thought he knocked out my tooth. I was like, no, don't worry about it, man. So I just pulled my retainer out. It's like, look, man, it's a fake tooth. And then, I don't think it really made the situation much better. He was still kind of freaked out. And then fast forwarding the clock a few years, somebody, again, while we were playing basketball, was trying to juke me. And so he went around, and I was trying to stop him, and he flung his head back. And so it went through the other side of my lip into his head. That was another freak out situation. He, I guess, couldn't handle that, and he passed out. So, worked for me. You know, I just took my tooth out of his head and went to the office. Said I gotta go home. That's a really good pizza. That pretty much sums up the whole tooth thing. I don't really have any more scary, funny stories. Oh, yeah. One more story
And landing.
I have about my son and my nephew. John Henry. I first showed him my tooth not too long ago. He's 2 now, so I probably did it to him when he was like 1.5. And he just kind of gave me this. Tried getting his tooth out. And then my nephew Landon, he was a little more disturbed than anything else. He's like,
oh my goodness, how did you do that?
But he didn't really talk much. It was just his facial expression was like. And then he finally, got used to it, and this is like falling apart. Just tear it, I guess. Down the chute. Gotta do the happy food dance. And then after being mortally horrified by it, then being okay with it, then he tried to always take it out of my mouth. To be like, try to reach in my mouth all the time. Just to try to rip it out. Going back, there was one day where my it was like misadjusted or something, and my retainer and tooth fell out, and I could not find it. And so I was going through the whole day at school, like not talking, not doing anything, because I was like, I don't have my tooth. I forgot my tooth. I don't know where it went. Luckily, it was like down in the crack of my bed and floor. It was it's been an interesting experience from when my tooth got knocked out. I absolutely hate the dentist and orthodontist and anybody who tries to reach in my mouth. I'm not a really big fan of them anymore. That kind of burnt me out. I was in there for 8 years, in and out, 8 years. And it was like surgery after surgery. It was horrible. And there was this one time where my wife got a hold of it. And she's like, this thing stinks. And so she was trying to clean it. And she ended up breaking the tooth. Luckily, the tooth part did not go down the sink. Otherwise, it would have been a really big joke. So we had to super glue it. So I've had to super glue this thing a couple times. Eventually, what I want to happen is I want to get another implant, but do it by like somebody who's competent and won't let it get infected. Because I do brush my teeth. Like when I had my implant, I'd like brush my teeth like 4 times a day, just because it was, because the doctors had warned me like for the first, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months while having it, you want to like keep it like sterile as all get out. So I was like, okay, so brush my teeth all the time. And then I still got an abscess. So I just think that when they first put it in, they didn't like clean it out all the way, and it was horrible. Getting like that made my mouth smell so bad, having an abscess in there. It's horrible. And so then I was like, we need to go to the doctor now. I was like, this is bad. This is very bad. Now you may wonder why I've eaten a whole pizza and not eaten a crust. I'm not a crust guy. I've never liked crust. But, oddly enough, I like breadsticks. A lot. They're just really good. I don't quite know the difference, but these are always better. That's it. They're so moist. They're just really like, I don't know if they're just like extremely greasy, but it's like melts in your mouth. So, I don't know. I was like, do know. It's like, tastes freaking good. One more breadstick. Alright guys, well, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. And I do want to get like feedback from everybody else out there, and just like suggestions of, like I said in the previous video, what do you want me to eat? If I can get a hold of it, I'll eat it. I don't know, for next time I think we might do either like the spicy noodle challenge thing, or we might just do a giant bowl of cereal. I don't know. Maybe it's up to you guys to decide. You know, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Have a good one. Until next time. This is Beardy Eats. Ho, ho, ho.